Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Rainy and this is the Enchanted Planner. This is a totally unplanned voiceover. I'm about ready to throw my bloody phone in the trash. I was on my damn game with the commentary in this video, and yet I went to edit it and there's no bloody audio. I have no idea what happened. I have had more freaking problems with this phone in the last week and a bit than forever. You know, and it's funny because I honestly swear they force us to get new phones. All right, so as you notice, I have pulled out Plant Babe. I had originally pre-planned for this layout to use Luxe Living, but when I looked at the book, it wasn't really overly well set up for dashboard. So I switched gears and ignore that. That doesn't go live till next week. So you didn't see that. But anyways, I pulled out Bold and Blush too because I was having difficulty finding boxes to coordinate with the colors in this set. But Bold and Blush, it's not too bad. It's not an exact match, but it's not bad at all. So just pulled out my tools. I got my wax paper and we're going to get started on this party. So what y'all been up to? I haven't been up to much. I have to put my house back together because we went to insure my son's vehicle, which we've had for like years, like 10 or 12 years, but he didn't have a driver's license. So we've just always had it in the garage. Well, we went to insure it last night. Well, we were talking about insuring it yesterday. So Monday night we went looking for the paperwork and we couldn't find the paperwork. So I was up very late on Monday night and then at it again first thing in the morning, ripping my Lumen house apart, trying to find this paperwork so Kevin could get his truck insured. Yeah, so I need to put my house back together. What I did find in my foray into the madness was I need to do a massive paper purge. Like, oh my Lord, paper purge. Like when we moved a couple of years ago, we got rid of a lot and I didn't realize just exactly how much paper I still have in my files. See, as a business owner, I have to keep everything for 7 years and I tend to keep everything. Like if it's a receipt, relative to business or not, I keep it all with the intention that I'm going to go back later and clear out the stuff that is no longer needed after the tax year has been done. However, that doesn't happen. So I have like grocery receipts and stuff going back like a decade that I'm going to go through all of my files and get rid of because there's no rationale to keep them at all. Like I do like to keep them to sort of track what we're spending on groceries, obviously, especially these days with food costing so bloomin' much. But once the year is over, I mean, really once the month is over, I mean, I could probably do it in quarters, I guess, as well. I'm going to ask you a question. So if you budget and stuff, how long do you keep your grocery receipts? Like, do you review them once a month and then toss them once you've got your numbers and done your bank recs and stuff? Or do you sort of keep them for the quarter so you can gauge what you spent on groceries this quarter versus last quarter? Or like, do you keep them for the year? I'd love to know what your own process is for that because I certainly don't have one. Let's just be real talk here. I obviously don't have one because like I said, have grocery receipts going back like a damn decade. Like the insanity is real, man. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what the? But it's a lot. Like it's so much. And I couldn't believe. But you see, because it's all neatly tucked away in file folders, you don't think of it because it's out of sight, out of mind. So much to my demise, I was like, oh my Lord, I have too much paper. So I'm going to have to create a plan because I can't do it all in one day. Obviously, I mean, I probably could do it all in a week if I buckled down and it would be under a week, but if I buckled down, but then I would get nothing else done. Like no filming, no business planning, no nothing. So I'm going to have to astutely create a plan to do this massive paper purge. I'm on a mission to take my house back. That's kind of as well. Like I set out at the beginning of this year with the intention of creating harmony in all these areas of my life. And it's now almost the end of August as I am filming this. And I mean, I have harmony in some areas of my life, but like I wanted to get rid of, I think 25 or 35% of our stuff by the end of this year. Well, if I'm going to get her done, I better get my butt in gear and actually start getting to the purging and stuff. I did go through my closets and whatnot last week. And I realized when I went through my closets, I don't have as much as I thought I did, because it suddenly it dawned on me. I did do a purge at the beginning of the year and pull a bunch of clothing out that I'm either not going to wear or I'm not going to, like, it doesn't fit anymore, because I'm tired of, I want clothes that fit me now for the stage of life that I'm in now. I don't want to keep stuff that, I might get back into. Do you know what I mean? Like at 50, no. Like the likelihood when I'm battling hormones and everything else that I'm ever going to get down to like a size 4 or a size 6 again, not likely. Excuse me, it's not likely. So I need to shed all of this stuff and pass it off to someone who will get some use out of it. I mean, the other thing I found too is I've got some stuff in my closet that I now consider dated. So it went as well. I mean, I've got my classic pieces, the stuff that never goes out of style. But I mean, I'm a health coach and a personal trainer. Do you know what my wardrobe is? 90% of it is athletic wear, because I live in tank tops and like either capris or leggings or sweatpants and hoodies. That's my life, man. It doesn't matter what day of the week it is. That's my life. I mean, I like having a nice couple of pairs of comfortable jeans and some nice, casual dress type stuff to go to dinner and stuff. But I don't see the point in keeping a lot of this stuff, because it never gets worn. It never gets worn. And I was going through jewelry, and what a nightmare that is, because when my mom died in 2007, I inherited a lot of her jewelry in her jewelry box, and I've kind of been putting it off because I don't want to deal with it. So I started dealing with it on Tuesday or Wednesday last week, but realized quickly I need to go and get some proper jewelry cleaner, because I can't tell what some of it is, if it's cosmetic or if it's, something that would be, I should hang on to because it's cosmetic. Like sometimes some of those cosmetic jewelry type of stuff is like, it's actually not cheap. So I've got a road ahead of me, but I'm slowly making it through bit by bit by bit. All right. So talking about the spread that's going down. I love these girls. I think they're adorable. Like, they're so cute. So they just had to make it onto the spread. I do struggle a little bit with the fact that they're like sort of floating. And at this point right now, I said I'll pull in some washi, but I don't actually pull in the washi until later, closer to the end of the layout, because I suddenly realized, I'm like, oh yeah, they're still floating. It's been a day. So it's been a day. So I'm back in Bold and Blush, and I'm looking for boxes and bullet points, because as I said, the Bold and Blush book actually coordinates fairly well with this theme. I went looking through all of my Mojo's boxes and couldn't find anything. Like, in a perfect world, I would have loved to have found a green that matches those leaves, those tropical leaves. That would have been perfect. But I didn't find anything that was even remotely close. It was either too bright or the wrong tone. So I went a different direction and decided to opt with the more neutral palette that is in this theme. But the theme is really cute. I'm not sure if you have this book or not, but I wasn't going to order them. But then there was a few of the themes I'm like, oh, those are super cute. And I also know myself well enough to know that there are times where I'm like, well, I'm on the fence, but then I end up loving them. And that has happened to me so many times. Stick Girls is one of those. Squad Girls is another. Wrong is another. Stuff that I never dreamed. Had you asked me 3 years ago if I was going to be putting that stuff in my planner, Disney too, I would have told you you're crazy. However, I love them. They're so much fun. So I think these dolls are cute. The only thing I wish is, so they're the same dolls, either just in different clothes, like different colored clothes or different colored hair. I wish I had more to play with. That's the only thing I would say is kind of a bummer about this theme, because I could only use the three of them because they're all the same girl. It's just whether their hair color is different or whether their clothes are a different color. But even they're all wearing the same clothes. But they're cute, and I guarantee Jessica probably had some restrictions with whatever licensing agreement she had when she bought the artwork, right? Because I don't think she creates her own artwork. Does anybody know? Does Jessica create her own artwork, or is she buying her artwork? Because I know that there are some florals in her books that are also in Happy Planners books that I have also seen on Etsy. So I'm assuming some of the stuff is bought and with like commercial licensing, but other stuff maybe they do create in-house. I'm not quite sure. And I was wondering about Jessica as well, if she's as well an artist. Speaking of wrong, I've ordered the Halloween book. I'm really excited about it. Other than the fact that one page of the florals I didn't realize was on a purple background until Di pointed it out to me, but I'll still use them because they're purple. They're good. Like, it's on a purple background, I'm down. I can deal with that. It's when they put them on strange backgrounds that I don't like. Like when they put like green leaves on a pink background, or pink leaves on a green background sort of deal. Like these are darker purple leaves on a lavender background. So I'm like, okay, I can get down. I will totally use those. I will make them work. But I am so excited about that Halloween sticker book. Halloween is my jam. I love Halloween. Halloween to me is bigger than Christmas. And don't take offense to that. Like, I know there's a lot of Christian followers in the subscribers, and please don't take offense. It's not meant with any. I just really love Halloween. I have always loved Halloween. Halloween is one of those holidays where it doesn't matter how old you are. For one night of the year, you could be whatever you want, and no one would look at you funny or judge you. And I think that's part of the reason I love the magic of Halloween, is because, you know, you can get adults dressed in all kinds of crazy ways and no one bats an eye because it's Halloween and it's meant for dress up. I mean, you know, the traditional Halloween versus Halloween of the 21st century is apples and oranges, but yeah, it is what it is. It's funny how candy companies and card companies have changed the trajectory of holidays that have been practiced for, or celebrations that have been practiced for years. Like years. Like, who stands to gain the most by trick-or-treating? The candy companies, right? So they got in there and got involved and really marketed. And of course now that's all we see with Halloween. That's all kids think about with Halloween, is the fact that they're going to go trick-or-treating and they're going to get a truckload of candy and they're going to be happy, happy campers. But I mean, when you look at Halloween's origins going back to like Celtic times, it's a very, very different celebration than it is now, right? Valentine's Day is another one. Like when you look at its original roots versus the way we embrace it today, it's apples and oranges. But this is what happens when corporate gets involved and decides to capitalize on things. Christmas is another one. Like if you look at it, like Christmas being basically a Christian holiday, the celebration of the birth of Jesus Christ. Wow, it's still very much practiced that way. Don't get me wrong, but most kids don't associate Christmas with the birth of Christ unless it's like a very religious family. Most kids think Santa Claus and presents, and that's cool. Like my kids were all about Santa and presents because we're not practicing Christians, right? Some of my family is, so we embrace all aspects of pretty much any holiday there is in December because, you know, the more the merrier. But you know, it's just, I don't know. I think that these toy companies and the candy companies and the card companies, they're the ones that have capitalized massively on all of these unique celebrations and holidays throughout the year. It's crazy, but what irritates me the most is if I go into a store and they are playing Christmas music before it's Remembrance Day, I will lose it. Like, no, you honor and celebrate in more, like, in, you know, pay your respects to those who gave their lives so you enjoy the freedoms that you do today, right? So I think most stores are pretty good with that now, but every once in a while I come across one, I'm like, you sneaky bastards. And I will raise a complaint because we can't be down with that, man. All right, we're just about wrapping up. Look at this. I'm going to sneak out of frame here because I didn't want you to see the monthly layout. But yeah, if you like this video, guys, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe while you're here. Drop me a comment. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Ciao.